Ludwigsburg and Nizhny Novgorod. It's the final game day of Group A, and what a fantastic matchup we have in prospect, with so much riding on this game, especially for Nizhny Novgorod, who are on the road here. Having beaten Ventspils last week, they have the chance with a win tonight to make the top four. It does rely on other results involving Le Mans and also Avellino, who are ahead of Nizhny Novgorod. The other game in this group is between the two qualified teams, UCAM Murcia and Banvit. The crowd, as always, is so vocal here in Ludwigsburg. They've had a disappointing season. They made the Final Four last year, and before that, they made the quarterfinals, losing by 1 point to Banvit in the quarterfinal aggregate two-game matchup. These are the Group A standings. Nizhny Novgorod can finish 5th, 4th or 3rd, depending on other results, providing they win. In relation to getting 4th or 3rd, they must win tonight. Ludwigsburg can get to 7th if they win, and Anvil lose, as they have the head-to-head. So it's all coming down to head-to-head scenarios. Le Mans have the head-to-head on both Avellino and Nizhny Novgorod, and Ludwigsburg have the head-to-head, as I say, on Anvil. Nizhny Novgorod have the head-to-head on Avellino, so it's so close. This is the Nizhny Novgorod lineup for tonight's game. Look out for Kendrick Perry and Evgeny Buberin. And Ian Hummer's come in the last few games since the New Year break and done a really nice job. Dragashevich as well, and Ivan Strebkov. Strebkov and Perry are the two leaders statistically and emotionally on this team. They really drive this team forward, and they've had excellent seasons so far. Perry with 14 points last week, and Strebkov with 19 points, 5 assists, leading the way, as they often do. As Ludwigsburg leave the arena, we'll look at their roster. They've really had a high turnover of players, but look out for Crawford, Sabekis, Owen Klaassen, really consistent performer, and Marcus Skaderic Knight. He came in, really helped them in his first game in the Basketball Champions League to beat Anvil Vocevec. But last week they had a heavy defeat, their heaviest defeat of the season, and their worst points total, 47, since they lost to Le Mans in game day 3, only scoring 54 points. Also look out for Kellen Martin for Ludwigsburg, the Butler standout young player with his first contract. Ludwigsburg lost heavily to Murcia, but of course in the game day 7 matchup, it was an unbelievable game, which MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg won by 2 in Russia. Are we going to have something as dramatic as that tonight? Just to remind you, Nizhny Novgorod, to have any chance of progressing to the top 4, which is where you want to be to progress to the round of 16, they must win tonight and rely on Avellino or Le Mans, or both, ideally for them, losing one of those games or both of those games. There's Kendrick Perry. Really interesting interview and chat with him, with the guys on the podcast, talking about his life in the Basketball Champions League with Nizhny Novgorod. He's got his own YouTube channel. I checked out one of the videos last night where he's preparing to come over to Russia, back in sunny Florida. But he hadn't really seen snow, but he's certainly seen plenty in his time in Russia, and being in Hungary last year, where he was a hero for Zaloki Olaj. As the drums start to beat here in Ludwigsburg in Germany, they are not going to be progressing to the playoffs this time round. They finished 7th or 8th in their Basketball Champions League season. They have been on a losing streak also in the German Basketball League as well. And 9-9 in the German Bundesliga. They're on a 3-game losing streak in Germany. Their last win was against Midi Bayreuth, 180-82 on January the 13th. They must get some positive vibes tonight. A lot of player turnovers. There's Marcus Knight. He has got to come with the sort of game that he brought when they beat Anvil. Can he carry and inspire this team? Clint Chapman's in the team as well tonight. Talented American. But Ludwigsburg also give a chance to young German players. There's Christian von Fintel. Interesting character. And there's Keelan Martin. Butler first team Big East and made the NCAA tournament and put up massive numbers for Butler at college. This is his first pro outing with Ludwigsburg. As for Nizhny Novgorod, they are 8-7 in the VTB, the Russian league, and they won 85-80 versus Parma at the weekend. So they've had 2 wins back-to-back. Ludwigsburg have really struggled this season, making the Final Four last year. They lost in the semi-final to Monaco, who went on to lose to AEK Athens, of course, in the final, and then lost to Murcia in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And having made the quarterfinals before, I'm sure Ludwigsburg and coach John Patrick was really hoping that they were going to have another strong showing this season. It hasn't quite materialised. There's our referees for this evening. Boris Krejcik from Slovenia, Janusz Kalik from Poland, and Martin Vulic from Croatia. The 3rd team on the floor, and as always, top quality refereeing, and especially at this time of year, such a massive moment, especially for Nizhny Novgorod. They've come through all the qualifying rounds, 3 rounds of qualification to get this far. They beat Porto, Aris, Thessaloniki and Pardubice. They were 5-1 in the qualification, and this is their starting 5. Astupkovic, Dravashevich, Strebkov, Baburin and Perry. Look out for Astupkovic as well. He's been playing well. 13 points and 10 rebounds last week against Ventspils. And there's Zoran Lukic. Previously was the coach here during the time when they made the Eurocup semi-final and then went into the EuroLeague. And this club were runners-up in the Russian Cup last season and also in 2011. And they finished 5th last year in the VTB. So we know that Nizhny Novgorod are really happy to have Lukic back at the helm. Here's the Ludwigsburg starting 5. Crawford, Klaassen, Knight, Jones and Keelan Martin. That is a all overseas starting 5. And there is the coach, John Patrick, who's been with Ludwigsburg for a number of years. Great servant to this club. And took them to the Final Four last year of the Basketball Champions League and the quarterfinals the year before, where they lost by 1 point over the 2 games of the quarterfinals to Bandit. This year it hasn't quite worked out for one reason or another. They didn't take Sears on again this year, who was a big part of their team last year. And with players coming in, some young players as well, like Keelan Martin. He did big things at Butler, but it's, as Kendrick Perry said in the interview last night on the podcast, really open and honest interview about many things. But he said when he came out of college at Youngstown, he thought he was the man, and he went across to the Sydney Kings in Australia and thought, hey, I've got some big-time players I'm playing against here and with. Guys that are professionals, that have been around the block, know the game, and he learned from that experience. He loved it, he's enjoyed wherever he's been, and now he can really mature as a person and mature as a player. And it was a really insightful and enjoyable listen on the guys' podcast on the Basketball Champions League website. And going on from that, I recommend you get the Basketball Champions League app, which will give you access to everything, including the podcast, all the highlights, the full games when they come out. And of course, the only place you can watch these games live or immediately after the full game reruns is on livebasketball.tv. So I hope you enjoy tonight's offering Group A, all games tipping off at the same time. It's going to be an unbelievable evening tonight and tomorrow. And then we will know at the end of tomorrow evening who the 16 teams are going forward into the round of 16 of the Basketball Champions League. Here we go, Ludwigsburg in yellow, Nizhny Novgorod in black. I'm excited. I hope you are, wherever you're watching around the world. Shots up, and it's good for two. Lamont Jones. Short for Novgorod. Shots up, it's just out. Good rebound, Klassen. He is always hanging around the basket, having a really good season. 9.2 points a game and 6.2 rebounds. He's number one. He's number one for rebounding for Ludwigsburg, and they are coming out red hot. They don't want to go down with a whimper as Keelan Martin knocks down their second mid-range two-pointer. Nizhny Novgorod must win to have any chance of progressing into the playoffs. Top four only go through Baburin. He is going to be massive. He has been there. He's seen it and he's done it. International star and national team player for Russia knocks down a three-pointer. Keelan Martin spins up and under. Good defense in packs there by Nizhny Novgorod. Perry. Baburin from the corner is just off, but Perry with an offensive rebound. They're looking for Baburin, and he takes the shot off the dribble, nearly banks it. And the drums of Ludwigsburg are being heard tonight. They are a proud club with great tradition in this competition, and they will want to put on a great show for their fans and of course for us as well. And Klassen, in the end, with persistence, gets the shot up over Dragashevich. 6-3, MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg lead. They've got three different scorers, which is good. They're really playing him tough. They don't want him to get hot after making the first. Perry, still Perry, kicks it out. Astapkovich knocks down the three from the corner. Astapkovich, 6.8 points a game, averaging 25% from three, so that's a good sign for Nizhny Novgorod. Knight loses it, and there's a collision. And Ludwigsburg keeping the pressure on, as they should. They've got to come out firing on the front foot and just keep going for as long as they go. Use the bench, get everybody involved. Perry. Dragashevich. Strebkov, another great pass from Strebkov. He's such a threat from behind the arc. They come out, they overstretch on the three, defending that, and he makes a superb defense-splitting bounce pass. Knight dribbles, pulls up. And it's a travel as they try to go one-on-one there. Lamont Jones. Strebkov just showing the part of his game where he shares the ball. He's number one in assists, number two in scoring for this very strong and talented Nizhny Novgorod team. Perry. Another team comes out, Dragashevich, drop down pass back to Dragashevich, and that's really patient precision play by Nizhny Novgorod, who now take the lead by 4 points. Just got to stay together now. McRae's in, shots up, knocked off the rim. And Strebkov can start another offense for Novgorod. He goes left, he pulls up, he looks as though he's going to pull up. Extra pass. And Baburin, he's made his first one, but he's missed his next 4. But he's come out firing. Knight spins, and he loses the ball. He hasn't quite got the elevation to get up right by the hoop as the help came. But they retain possession as Dontas Sabekis comes in. On loan from Salgiris. And that's a nice play by Ludwigsburg. Sabekis coming straight in and scoring the 2. Good start early here. Strebkov all the way across. Baburin this time attacks the defense. Extra pass, Strebkov. And a one-handed pass, and they're just pushing it as just a touch too hard there. Would have been a tough catch, and coach saying the same thing. Shots up, and it's just off. Clint Chapman, shots up mid-range, off, kept alive. Great tip by Baburin. He knows every possession is critical. Bounce pass, and the finish eventually by Dragashevich. Got 13 points and 5 rebounds versus Ventspils last week. He's carrying on his good work as we take a timeout here in Germany. Early advantage, but only just, and Nizhny Novgorod 12-8.
We got to get back and rebound. You're not rebounding. We got a couple of guards in there, but no big guys. Okay, what did we say we're doing on the pick and roll? Hedge tight. Don't let him turn the corner. Hedge tight. Help big to dig. Wings step up. Okay, look, we're fine. We're getting wide open shots.
That's it. Zip low, put the ball in. Okay, he's down, play aggressively. He's defending his off. So bring him double, leave the ball for Lana. Okay, we create good. Hey.
Points from turnovers there, so good stats to have. Creating 4 points from turnovers so far. Such an important game, but as I said, Ludwigsburg beat Nizhny Novgorod. I mean, that seems a long time ago now, back in November. They won by 2, and that was young Jallo who made the final layup right at the end of the game. He's not been playing of late. He was on loan from Bayern Munich. So they're going with other players, other lineups, other chemistry, and with Knight coming in after New Year, they got Sabekis on loan. Chapman's been in and out. And now they have this. McRae is in, and jump hook is just short. They're playing a touch tight now. Nizhny Novgorod. Dragashevich missing that one. McRae. Pressure on the ball. Sabekis to Lamont Jones. Shot clock running down. Sabekis backs Perry down. Perry plays great defense, moving his feet. I'm not sure they're going to get it out. They do, but it misses everything. And Nizhny Novgorod get the defensive rebound. That was great defense, especially by Perry. Wouldn't let Sabekis get the baseline. And there's a mismatch. Ron Jones Jagasevich at 6'9", and Ron Jones, much smaller guard. So they're going to use that on switches. Strebkov hands it off, goes to the other side. And there's a whistle away from the ball, and Klein is in. Konstantin Klein. Klein's come across from Telecom Baskets Bonn, playing in the Maybe Europe Cup. Martin Komalov. Perry, so important for this team. Here's Ian Hummer, new player, interesting character, and across from the Ivy League. He's at Princeton. I'm sure we'll speak more about him tonight as he comes out really hard on that pick and roll, but he couldn't get back across. So Keelan Martin, who made Hummer pay. Hummer went for the double team, and a good, smart pass across to Martin. And Nizhny by 1. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first. And if that's Klein, that's 2 quick fouls. That's McRae with the foul. Aburin to Hummer. Perry. So Hummer, he backs down, he likes this, and the little jump hook is good, and he did some of that last week at Ventspils. Just, in fact, that was, you can definitely know Hummer by the colour of his shoes, very brightly coloured shoes, and that was Jagasevich who scored that. Ron Jones with the inbounds to Martin. Catch, shoots, knocks it down. And if he catches fire, Ludwigsburg have got a chance. Alley-oop attempt to Popov, who kicks it back out. And only one and done. And Baburin again firing away, getting really good looks. McRae goes left. That was a tough pass to Klaassen, down by his shins. Full court pressure here from MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg, and Perry versus Klein. Hummer fakes, drives, pulls up, and that is definitely a foul. Good fake there. And Ludwigsburg defense, and Keelan Martin just couldn't stop. Great jump stop, and he was going to go up and under and through. Keelan Martin just kept going, and luckily no one's got injured there. Well, hopefully not, he's landed on Hummer's right leg, but he seems okay. The lefty. 3 games he's played, 40% from the free throw line, 50% from 2. He's at Princeton College. Avtodor Saratov, and this is the second. Ratafar Malm, and he's played in Finland as well. He joined in January. 2 give Nizhny some extra size. And good play. Talking about players that came over in January making an impact. Marcus Knight. Down the 2 and getting fouled. Now if he gets going and Keelan Martin gets going, Klaassen inside, Chapman helping out and Crawford driving them from the point guard spot. Such quick fouls. Referees keeping right on top of this one because Nizhny Novgorod need to win this game in order to have any chance of progressing to the round of 16, top 4 from the group. That's way off from Knight, who had a really good look there. Komalov inside. Ilya Popov. He's now working Klaassen. Good pass. Now Hummer, left-hand hook, no good. Good interchange of passing between the bigs. As Ramon Jones, left-hand pass. Keelan Martin not being allowed to get his shot off. Under a minute remaining in the first. Pull-up J off the dribble is no good, but offensive rebound. Martin turns round and he is red hot tonight. .3 points a game. He's number 2 on the team. Behind Knight. And showing why. But they really need him to heat up, and that's great pass inside, and Hummer throws it up and in. Great strength shown there by Ian Hummer. 28-year-old, 6'7" American. He knew there was contact, he heard the whistle and used all his strength to get the shot up and got a lucky roll on the road. And the game is tied at 17 with 17.9 seconds remaining following this free throw. Let's miss that. Not shooting a great percentage in the Basketball Champions League. So time running down. Ludwigsburg can have the last shot of the quarter and they want to get a really good look. Crawford. Inside, Klaassen. Still Klaassen. And a foul by Hummer. Very nervous looking fans there, knowing how important this game is for Nizhny Novgorod. And Klaassen gets the roll. 68.6% for the free throw line in the Basketball Champions League this season. And this is the second big rebound by Perry, but he's tried to dribble it out. Trying to be able to dribble it through the crowd and getting a score, or having a chance of getting a score. But at the end of the first, here in Ludwigsburg, Germany, it's 18 to the hosts. Ludwigsburg 17 to Nizhny Novgorod. Here's some highlights from the first quarter. Ludwigsburg came out really strong, very aggressive with Martin and Ramon Jones, and then Klaassen leading the way. Crawford running the show from the point. They've got players in. And Klaassen just sticks to what he's good at. He's not a high flyer, so will employ the jump hook. And he will just rebound and work hard for his team. Number 1 on the team in rebounding, 6.2 rebounds. That was a good job by Sabekis. He'd just come into the game and he made that off the end line inbounds. And Nizhny Novgorod haven't had quite the start they wanted, but they're on the road They're up against a decent team that really have just underperformed in a way in the Basketball Champions League this season for their own high expectations following the last 2 seasons. But they've got dangerous players, and Keelan Martin looks in good rhythm tonight. He's not hesitating, he's not really thinking, he's just playing on instinct, and that can only be good. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, but he just was completely outfaked and outfoxed by Hummer there. It was Princeton versus Butler, and Princeton won that matchup. So we're back here for second quarter action as the Ludwigsburg crowd do their best to try and see this season off with a win to possibly get them to climb to 7th, and will end Nizhny Novgorod's chance of a playoff berth if they win against Novgorod tonight. Ian Hummer trying to make sure that doesn't happen as Nizhny creep into the lead 19-18. Remember, Ludwigsburg won this matchup in Russia, game day 7, by 2. Klaassen inside, nice effort, but no good. He gets it back, steps through, he plays to his strengths. Any players there watching how to get the best out of yourself? Watch Owen Klaassen. And then he's back there with his teammates to knock the ball loose from Hummer. A bit of frustration there. Crawford. He's in 11.5 games in the German Bundesliga, 11.5 points. And just under that in the Basketball Champions League. Ball is loose, deflected, and finally corralled by Ian Hummer. And nice move inside by Kendrick Perry. And the steal by Baburin. Perry's first 2 points, and he finds Komalov, and he knocks it down. And a quick timeout required by coach John Patrick. They've done so well for so long, Ludwigsburg, but Nizhny Novgorod just turning the screw there. Timeout here in Germany.
When we took it out. Stay focused. Stay focused. Sonata, she got Jordan. Somebody's got to guard Perry seriously. Okay, we got to get down in the stands and push into these screens. Okay, who's got him? You want him? Take Perry. Get up into him. Who do you have? Shooter. Hummer. Push. Right hand. Hummer.
Okay, focus, please. Finish this chest. Finish this chest. Second one. Diamond. Finish this chest. Just want to see. Next offense is 4. Isolate 1-on-1. Let's go.
There's a differential in the paint. Both teams are trying to score in the paint, but Nizhny Novgorod have, look at that. I mean, that is crazy. I'm not sure Klaassen has not seen Baburin, but if you hang around after a score, this is what can happen. Get the steal, get it to the right shooter. On the back of the steal, Ludwigsburg were out of position, and now the press continues. Try it again, try and slow them down, get them to pick the ball up, get an 8 seconds call. Nice job there by Marcus Skideric Knight. Knight has got to step up big time. He goes all the way to the basket. No foul called as he ends up on his back. Now he's got to get back. Good finish with his left hand there. Knight up to 4 points, the leading scorer in his short time with Ludwigsburg since Christmas New Year break. Strebkov, bounce pass, and Radishevich knocks it out of bounds. The Montenegrin, 32-year-old experienced player. Komolov with the foul. Derek Knight getting that foul called, drawing that foul. He came across from Turkey, played at Afyon. Beliday got promotion with that club from Division 2 into the Super League, and then Ludwigsburg taking him on for the second half of this season. And Klassen, that could be an offensive foul, and it is called. His elbows were out. Great defense and brave defense by Dragashevich, and he's feeling that, I think. Let's just see where the contact is. Yeah, that's great job. Klassen has caused the contact, and now Ludwigsburg will stay up, try and get some pressure. Dragashevich comes all the way back, hands it back to Perry. Now they can get into the half-court set. This is a good matchup. Perry versus Knight. Strepkov, over the top pass. Floater is short by Dragashevich. He's trying a lot of finesse around the hoop, trying to just drop the ball in. Knight just overpowering but can't finish against Perry. Perry catches the ball, eyes up into the corner, shots thought about, bounce pass, extra pass, Strepkov extra pass, shots up, Astupkovic is just off. And Dontas Sabekis with the rebound, still Sabekis. He can share the ball as well. And there's a foul there by Strepkov, who would have struggled against Clint Chapman there. Chapman at 6'10". Came across from Alba Berlin, who he was with last year. Strepkov's first foul. He's also played at Fribourg Olympic, who have been in the Basketball Champions League for the first time this season, the first team from Switzerland to do so. Derek Knight looking for the inbound. Instead it goes to Keelan Martin. He's had a decent first half. Clint Chapman, foul on Dragashevich. Martin hands to Knight. Cross comes Chapman. Deep three is just long, and the rebound. Dragashevich. And Perry. Still Perry. Perry again. And that's a better job defensively. They converged on him. He nearly got through. They've knocked it out of his hand. And it'll be end line inbounds for the Russian outfit, Nizhny Novgorod. As I said earlier, they've come through all the qualification rounds to get this far. They've played Eurocup previously. They have come all the way, and can they win tonight and get into the round of 16 for the first time? Strepkov. Aggressive defense from Ludwigsburg. High screen from Dragashevich, who gets it back and finishes right at the basket, and that was perfect execution, perfect spacing, and a perfect pass delivered by Ivan Strepkov. Dragashevich up to 10 points, leading all scores comfortably. 5 of 9 from the field, 2 rebounds as well, so he's played really well. As Christian von Fintel comes in. For White Wings Hanau in Division 2 of the German Pro A, and Mitchell Deutscher in the Bundesliga has joined Ludwigsburg this season. Seeing if he can bring some local effort and chemistry to the Ludwigsburg outfits. They need it now. They're 5 down after a promising first quarter. And that was a tough move. Von Fintel was open in the far corner. Keelan Martin tried to make a spectacular play, and Strepkov in and out. Good rebound, Chapman. And ball's loose, and Perry with another steal. Defensive, he was in the all-defensive team at his college at Youngstown. Very long, great hand speed and foot speed. Good pass, great passes! Bounce pass followed by bounce pass. That is old school basketball, but it's still effective and it's still relevant. Great play by Nizhny Novgorod. 7-point lead. Dragashevich, the recipient, up to 13. Knight, still Knight, pulls up, long two is off. And rebounded by Javanov. Dragashevich, Strepkov looking for options. It's a real tricky customer because he can pull up and shoot. And great play, no charge. Again, everything's going through Dragashevich. He faked the handoff. The defense edged towards Strepkov and he just went towards the basket, which was the open space. 9-point lead for Nizhny. Chapman. Knight is becoming very one-on-one or penetrating kick. And all the help just comes at the right time and in the right order, making it really tough for this Ludwigsburg team. Strepkov out. No points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, but just having a big effect on the game. And off from Klaassen to Knight. Hesitation, still Knight. Still Knight. Somehow he gets it over the top of Hummel. Six points. To Knight. Now Perry. Perry looked outside, gave it inside. Dragashevich just playing great basketball. Perry there dished it into him. Perry's been voted to the VTB United League All-Star team. Again, he spoke about that during the podcast. Really is worth a listen. Great job done by the guys there. Keeping it informative and light-hearted and a good listen. Dragashevich. 50% from the free throw line. Kovic in, Baburin is in, Knight to Von Fintel, to Sabekis. Crawford as the drums beat in rhythm, trying to lift this Ludwigsburg team. Knight for 3 is good! That will give him a lift. Gives the whole place a lift. And much needed Perry. They break the press. They've got to try something to break the momentum of this team. That was good defense without fouling by Sabekis, and Von Pintel were there. Extra pass. No way through as Hummel comes over. Number 34 against Knight. Now Keelan Martin goes baseline, still has it. Reverse layup, really tough shot. Showing why he was one of Butler's finest when he was at the university there in the States. Up to 11 points, shooting 62% from the field. Perry, 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. I hope you're enjoying Basketball Champions League action. The last regular season game day for Group A. Jump shot is good for Ian Hummer. Flat line drive shot, but he was open and he took it and he made it to extend the lead. 7-point lead for Nizhny. They lost by 2 in Russia to Ludwigsburg on game day 7. Sebekis, tough shot, gets his own offensive rebound, tips it to Knight, who finishes. Good teamwork between Ludwigsburg's Lithuanian and American stars. On Fintel now trying to contain Perry. Handoff, Astapkovich, back to Perry, bounce pass, another bounce pass, but Hummer hadn't quite stepped far enough across to the ball side, and he got knocked loose. Good deflection and steal by Ludwigsburg. Under a minute remaining, Crawford trying to get Knight open, and Abirin and Perry combining there. Being spoken to by coach there, and shots up and is good, just forced it through and up. Keelan Martin having a big game. Number 2 in scoring before this game, 14.3 points a game, 2 in rebounding, 5.7 rebounds a game. He needs everything he's got tonight to try and contain this Nizhny Novgorod team, but they've dragged it back. They were 10 down, 11 down. And now it's only 3, and they will get another possession. Komalov, beautiful catch and shoot. That's beautiful basketball. %40 from the three-point line, Komalov. Down to the last 5 seconds. They go inside, they've got to get the shot up off one leg. It's just short, tipped by Lamont Jones off the miss by Keelan Martin, and that brings to an end the first half. And the biggest game of Nizhny Novgorod's season, and they lead at the moment by 6, 39 to Novgorod, and Ludwigsburg 33. Both teams leave the arena, and we look at the game stats. Nizhny Novgorod 60% from 2, 44% from 3, 11 assists. Nizhny Novgorod. And there's some other stats. 7 turnovers for Ludwigsburg, 5 for Nizhny Novgorod. There's the game leaders. Martin with 13 points, Chapman with 4 rebounds, Crawford with 3 assists for Ludwigsburg, and Nizhny 2 steals for Perry. And a block for Strebkov. And there's the top scorers, Martin, Knight and Klaassen for Ludwigsburg, and for Nizhny, Dragashevich with a massive 18 points, 7 for Hummer, and the others falling behind. So it's ended up a very close encounter in the first half between Nizhny Novgorod and Ludwigsburg. In game day 7, they were separated by 2 points, with Ludwigsburg coming up trumps there. One of their 3 wins. The other win against Anvil, game day 10. They beat Mercia as well in game day 6 by 1 point. So they've had some good moments in this season, but they just haven't been able to keep things going like they did last year and the year before when they got to the quarterfinals. What can they do in the second half? Can they stop Nizhny Novgorod from having a chance of getting in the top 4 and progressing to the round of 16? Top 4 teams from the 4 groups will progress. It's so tight, it's all to do with Avellino's result and Le Mans at the moment. Avellino winning by 2 against Ventspils, and Le Mans are losing by 1 against Volchek and Volchevik. So it's all to play for in the second half. Don't go anywhere. Download the Basketball Champions League. You're watching this coverage on livebasketball.tv. The app is free and you can download it in seconds. And we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Ludwigsburg in Germany, where Nizhny Novgorod lead by 6 in a game they must win to have any chance of progressing to the qualification stages, which will be the round of 16. Somebody tucking into their food, looks very tasty. Enjoying the hospitality here in Ludwigsburg, and of course the hospitality of the Basketball Champions League. At the moment, Avellino lead by 3, and Le Mans are losing by 3. In fact, they're losing by 1 now. They've just got underway. We're slightly behind the Le Mans game, and Avellino then spills. Avellino leading by 3 on the road. Le Mans are the only team out of the 3 of these 3 teams that are going for 2 places that are at home. So, and now they take the lead. They were in the lead by 1. So it's Nizhny Novgorod and their staff, and will be aware of what's going on, but they've just got to focus on getting the win. They're in control of this game at the moment, and it's been such a up and down season for them. They were on a 3-game losing streak before they won last week. The most, or the best run they've had, or the most wins they've had in a spell was 4 wins out of 5 earlier in the season as well. So they can put wins together, but the Basketball Champions League, along with the VTB Russian League, which is so demanding as well, it's a big ask to be playing at a high level midweek and the weekends, but this is what these players are paid for. It's what the coaches are paid for, to get them the rest when they need it and get them primed and ready for game time. And no bigger game than this for Nizhny Novgorod. Whatever happens, if they don't progress to the round of 16, they don't want it to be because they've lost this game against a Ludwigsburg team who have struggled for a lot of this season in Group A. So we're just moments away of getting back underway. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on livebasketball.tv, and not only the Basketball Champions League. Once the game days are finished tomorrow, we'll be counting down to the final World Cup qualification window, which starts on Thursday the 21st of February and will run through that weekend. All the teams all around the world, 2 more game days. Still plenty of teams need to qualify, and every game, every moment, every highlight will be here on livebasketball.tv right through the day and night, depending on where in the world you are watching. From the Americas to the Asias to Europeans and to the Africans. So I'm looking forward to bringing you those games. That's in the future. And now, as the drums ring out in Ludwigsburg, I can hardly hear myself think here, it's a 6-point lead for the Nizhny Novgorod. They're in black, Ludwigsburg in yellow, and another steal from the steel master, Kendrick Perry, who finishes up the other end. So sleight of hand and quick feet, and he gets another steal to his name. That's 3 steals now for Perry. He's averaging 1.5 steals a game as Klaassen picks up his 3rd foul. Not what they needed there. Aburin. Dragosevich, offensive. Best offensive player of the first quarter, and that was great play inside by Hummer, who's given them another look. It's like a left-handed Dragosevich, and they're really working well. Going into both of those, and Hummer up to 9 points. In fact, both Dragosevich and it's a foul on the floor, and Knight wants it to be in the act of shooting, but I don't think he will get that. As Le Mans take a 6-point lead, and now Ventspils and Avellino still at half-time. So at the moment, Le Mans are definitely going through. They're on the same record at the moment as Nizhny Novgorod, but they have the head-to-head over Novgorod and Avellino. Shots up from the corner is short. Defensive rebound, quick outlet by Baburin. Komolov back to Dragashevich. Baburin, he's going to be guarded very closely by Crawford. The double team now, they've got numbers advantage. Komolov drives. Hummer, they keep moving the ball, but Burin is just off left for three with the shot clock running down. Knight, still Knight, penetrate kick, shots up and just off by Keelan Martin, but stolen by Knight. Nice job, and Klaassen finishes off the assist. Still an assist in quick succession there for Marcus Knight. And Martin goes out. Second foul. Great passing inside, but Hummer doesn't get it the first time, but he gets straight after it and tips it off the glass with his right hand. Great play by the Princeton graduates. Klaassen posting up. .6% from the line. Keelan Martin's back in. Fouls committed before the shot, but now it's another turnover. And again, it's Perry. He is having a steal fest tonight, just when they need him. Hummer attacks. Great bounce pass. The spacing is perfect between these two players, Dragashevich and Hummer. And it's timeout Ludwigsburg, and it's gone very quiet here at the MHP Arena. .12 lead for Nizhny Novgorod, just turning on the gas just when they need it. Let's listen to Coach Patrick.
Look, we're fine when we run plays. We're fine when we run plays. We got to be strong. They're just getting physical with us. On the handoffs, we're flipping the ball up. We got to set things up and be willing to play physical. If we're not willing to play physical, we're not going to get back in the game. Hey, it's a 12-point game.
If you switch, you less mismatch. Okay? Hey, now, Diamond. They're not switching. I want to use Jan. Ian on 4. Diamond 4. Diamond 4. Hey.
Perry averaging over a steal a game as well in the Russian league. That's just beautiful rhythm on that jump hook, left-handed. Just makes, that was a good job by Shaderic Knight with the steal. But again, it's just basic basketball. One dribble, bounce pass. The defense edges towards the ball, and the player just stays on the baseline, just off the sight line of the defender, and he finishes. It's just steady, functional, fundamental basketball by Nizhny Novgorod. They're doing everything they can. They're holding up their end of the bargain. As Lamont now lead by 7. Attempted alley-oop to Chapman, but Perry again just ends up with the ball. It was good team deflection. Perry will get the steal. Inside, Hummel backs down, but too much. Sebekis with the steal. Knocking it loose, and Knight putting pressure on the Novgorod defense, and Komolov with the foul. That's his second foul. Sebekis for three is long. Good offensive rebound there by Knight. We get another chance. And Perry really aggressive. He wants to try and get that ball back as quickly as possible. 5 steals, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 4 points. It's a great stat line. When you've got Dragashevich and Hummer doing the bulk of the scoring, you fill in the gaps on the other statistics that are needed. There goes Lamont Jones, no way through. The veteran Baburin closes him off, and Dragashevich with the steal. Another turnover for MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg. They're making it really tough for themselves. Perry versus Knight, high screen from Hummer. Goes left, spins back. He just couldn't get it up, but Dragashevich just is relentless. He gets the offensive rebound and scores, and Ludwigsburg just can't deal with the smart play of Nizhny Novgorod and the presence of Dragashevich and Hummer underneath. Coach Lukic looking as happy as he can be. He's always on his team, trying to get the best out of them. He's had success with them before. It's the second stint. And the club love him, and he's back where he wants to be. And Clint Chapman putting that three-pointer where he wants it to be, right through the hoop. And he gets his first points of the game to go with his 5 rebounds. Long way to go here. Nearly halfway through the third quarter, and a travel. So just some pressure off the Chapman 3 gets Novgorod out of their routine and causes a turnover. They've got 8 turnovers now to Ludwigsburg's 12. There's the caption right on cue. Here comes Knight with an up and under, and glides to the hoop. And now Coach Lukic is saying, guys, where was the defense? Where's the help? Perry, he's going to be tested. Shots up for 3 is good for Hummer with that live line drive. Ian Hummer, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist versus Ventspils last week. Dragashevich and Komolov in animated discussion as Chapman, after hitting the 3, comes out. Full court pressure from Finton. What energy can he bring from the German standpoint against Perry? High screen coming from Dragashevich, not used. Dragashevich gets in deep, shots up, and he's just short. But he gets the offensive rebound, tips it to himself a couple of times and kicks it back out to Baburin, to Perry. High screen again. Perry, Komolov, no way through, and attacking the baseline. Keelan Martin with the foul. Now in comes Ariel Hukpulti. Play for the national German team, under 16s. Just 18 years old. He's played for the Ludwigsburg under 18 team, so a lot thought of this young man. Just inbounding the ball there. Let's see if he can have an impact in and around the basket. He's 6'10" and just 17 years old. Keelan Martin off the dribble. That shot's long. And a lot of physicality inside. Coulty put up really good numbers at the under-16. And he's coming out very quick. That's tough for the young man, but he's getting on the court and he's had some time. Dragosevich continues to pour in the points. And knocks that down as well. And he's really up on all his averages by a mile. 23 points tonight. His average is 10.2, so this is a big game for him. And a soft floating layup is good for Knight, and the pressure is on. Ivan Fintel. And Strebkov almost stolen, and it is, but not legally, as Knight gets called for the foul. And there was no foul call. That's Knight. Good offensive rebound by Klaassen. So they did get the ball back. And now Hummer brings the ball up. Strebkov as Perry takes a break. Popov is in as well at number 17. Ball bypasses him, but Burin somehow gets it to the corner for Komalov to knock down a massive three. 59-44. Nizhny Novgorod lead. They're holding up their part of the bargain to try and get to the round of 16 of the Basketball Champions League playoffs. Klaassen inside, Knight surrounded, kicks it back out to Martin. Martin, still Martin. That was a tough one-on-one shot, and Hummer did enough. And another three, this time Strebkov. Timeout Ludwigsburg. Le Mans lead by 2. Avellino lead by 2, they're underway. Just 4 minutes remaining in their third quarter. If all three teams win, Le Mans, Avellino and Novgorod will remain in 5th and will go into the FIBA Europe Cup.
Hey guys.
Let's listen to the timeouts.
We get something every time. We're open. But you guys gotta want to score. Look, on the fast break, get to the shooters. Get to the shooters. But look at the score. It's 18. We came back last time when it was more than this. But we gotta keep fighting.
That's a worrying sign for Novgorod fans. Dragosevich getting some work on his back. There's Gerasimov. Young player who's come in. But at the moment, Nizhny Novgorod are in control. And that was very clever from Baburin. And even cleverer from Strebkov, who just loves that shot. He will never turn it down. Just a good all-round player. Strebkov, second in scoring, first in assists. Number 1 in efficiency for this team up until this game at 14.5. Derek Knight has the best efficiency for Ludwigsburg. Klaassen, Klein. Klein for 3 is long, and rebound by Hummer. He just flies and catches that. Doing a good job for his team. Sticks to what he knows and what he's good at. Here comes Gerasimov. Again, Hummer, that jump hook, very nice. lot of one-on-one. It's such a different way to play. And after all that dribbling, they get a deep three. Timofey Gerasimov played a couple of games, averaging 4.5 minutes a game in the Basketball Champions League. And the VTB, a couple of games again, but very little time for number 24. And Konstantin Klein. In that free throw and the rebound by 24 Gerasimov. Timeout here in Ludwigsburg. And at the moment, Nizhny Novgorod are in control. So Nizhny timeout. It's the game's leaders, Dragashevich, points and rebounds. Field goal leaders, Perry and Komalov.
We run the first, everybody else
Nizhny.
up. You will be here, small, here. What? 5 is opening, fast.
And for MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg, Knight with 15. Chapman with 5, rebounds Crawford with the assists. And the field goal leaders, Knight, Carson. Just 21 years old, Timofey Gerasimov, 6'5". And getting blooded in the Basketball Champions League. So more pressure by MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg. They haven't given this up. With less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter, in the third. Strebkov, all business, all busy, and just missing that. But they get another shot at it. Komalov, Strebkov looking inside, looking over the top. And he does give it into Hummer. Hummer, great pass, up fake and a foul. And Ilya Popov was the recipient there of a nice baseline bounce pass. .5% from the free throw line. Ilya Popov, 23-year-old, 6'8", a Russian player. Averaging 4.2 points a game and 3.2 rebounds. Not playing massive minutes tonight, but with Hummer coming in, he's a real support now for those players. It gives them a good balance. With Dragashevich going off tonight offensively. With Hummer in there as well, who can step out, play inside or outside, and Strebkov with another rebound behind the back. No look. Gets it back, pulls up from the free throw line, and that's automatic almost for Ivan Strebkov. Strebkov falls, gets back up, and ball's loose. And great effort from Timofey Gerasimov. under a minute remaining. Knight again, it's a lot of one-on-one, and he gets the foul, but it's before the shot. But both teams, Ludwigsburg and Nizhny, are in foul trouble, in team fouls. Knight gets the first to go. This is the second, but they kept to the live momentarily. Hummer cleans up, and Strebkov brings it down the floor. 30 seconds or so to the end of the third. Strebkov, screen over the top, Hummer, and he drops it in with his left hand off the glass. Just nice screen and just quick thinking, smart play from Nizhny Novgorod. And they're now leading very comfortable, and Hummer gets to 18 points at a rate of 73% from the field. Knight, really tough shot, but he gets it to go with his left hand. Shots up from full court is short, and the end of the third quarter has been reached. And Nizhny Novgorod in complete control, leading 70-48. There's some of the stats. Pick out what you want, but from 2-point and 3-point and free throws, very impressive for Nizhny Novgorod. 20% from three for Ludwigsburg. They've struggled there. We watched the highlights, and even when Hummer wasn't able to make, his partner in crime, Dragashevich, was right there to pick up the pieces, and Ludwigsburg just haven't been able to play with that kind of teamwork. They do rely at times on players like Knight and Keelan Martin to make big plays and break other teams down, whereas Nizhny Novgorod always looking for the best possible shot by whoever that happens to be. When you've got the likes of Strebkov, who are high energy, high octane players, always pushing the ball, and Perry played 26 minutes for his 4.7 rebounds, sorry, 7 assists, 2 rebounds and 5 steals. So final quarter here. The final quarter of the regular season for MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg. If they lose, they will finish 8th and bottom of this group. Such a disappointment for them after making the Final Four last year and quarterfinals before that. And as for Nizhny Novgorod, they are going to win this game by the look of it, unless there is a minor miracle and massive comeback by Ludwigsburg. But they are relying on one of Avellino or Le Mans to lose their game. And at the moment, Le Mans are tied with Anvil Bolshevik in France, 67 each, and Avellino and leading by 5. Avellino have a 1-game better record before we started tonight. They are 7-6. Novgorod is 6-7, as that comes off the top of the back ball from McRae. Are 6-7 along with Le Mans. But Le Mans have the head-to-head record over both Novgorod and Avellino. Avellino have to win, they're going to definitely go through. In third. At the moment, they lead by 5. Novgorod are leading comfortably, and Le Mans are tied with 3:39 remaining in the 4th. So if Le Mans lose, Nizhny Novgorod win, they will switch places. Novgorod and Avellino win, which they are doing at the moment. Novgorod will go to 4th. That is the scenario at the moment if the games stop at this point. Keelan Martin with a nice looking shot, but just short. There's a whistle. Some inquiring faces and looks. Keelan Martin, Sabekis. Strepkov's 4th foul that was. Stays in the game. Sabekis for 3 is just off, and that's a foul, I think, by Komolov on Von Fintel. Komolov 3rd foul. Nizhny Novgorod in control here in Germany. Is it going to be enough to see them through to the round of 16, or will they remain in 5th, regardless of their win tonight? Keelan Martin, I mean, that's such a tough shot. Ill-advised shot. John Patrick will not be happy with that. Popov. Maybe a bounce pass there from Gerasimov. Gerasimov came across from Lokomotiv Cuban this season, has played on the under-20 Russian national team. No high hopes, I'm sure, for the young man. He's in a good place to develop with some great players and great guards and playmakers around him. Very unselfish team. Nizhny Novgorod, Crawford, hesitation, kicks it back out. Sabekis is now going to take the 3. And a lot of holding going on there with Komolov and Von Fintel, who's proving a handful. Lots of energy there. By Von Fintel, 28-year-old German. Lamont Jones. Shots up. Again, Sabek is just missing, but ball's loose, and Perry back in the game. And as has happened most of this game, the ball ends up in number 55's hands. Penetrate kick. Baburin hasn't made a 3 for a long time, but that has just stopped as he knocks it down from the corner. Another assist for Perry. Le Mans are losing by 4 at home. At the moment, Nizhny Novgorod are going through. It's going to be that sort of evening here and later on, and tomorrow is going to be a lot of nail biting. Under a minute remaining in Le Mans. And now Avellino are losing by 1. What a turnaround there. Still 6 minutes remaining or so of that game in Latvia in Ventspils. Of course, Nizhny Novgorod beat Ventspils last week to put themselves in this position of a possibility of qualifying for the round of 16 if results went their way. At the moment, they are just. Baburin, can he go back to back? And he just misses. Komolov. 2 of 7 he is from the behind the arc, Baburin, but that's offensive foul by Popov as he spun back to the baseline. But Nizhny Novgorod allow the big players to get the ball. They feed their bigs Let them make their work, make their plays. They spread the floor nicely. Lucas Herzog, another one of the young Germans, is in the game. Straight inside to Chapman, who can't quite finish. (18), another teenager. Shots up from deep. Komolov. Another foul on Popov. Nizhny are in team fouls. So Ludwigsburg will go to the other end to shoot the foul shots. Avellino now leading by 3 with just over 5 minutes remaining. So they're going through if they win. Anvil, Volchevek leading by 4. Just under a minute remaining in Le Mans. It's quite extraordinary. It's only Nizhny Novgorod that are not having a stressful time in their particular game. They have controlled it. They've been in the lead from the latter stages of the first quarter and haven't given that lead up. And they've now stretched it to 22 points. Komolov inside, Hummer. Back outside, Komolov, catch, shoot, and swish for Novgorod's number 4, Artem Komolov. Great job by him, and again, pass right on cue from Hummer, not forcing it. 11 points for Komolov. Ball's loose. Who's first? Perry's first. He's staying dangerous, as he said in his YouTube video last night, but he can't finish. Hasn't quite got it going offensively, not that he's needed to. There's been a different focus from Nizhny Novgorod tonight. 12 turnovers for Novgorod now. Klein off the glass, in and out. Rebound by Dragashevich. It's all eyes on Le Mans and in Ventspils. The fate of Nizhny Novgorod is in those two teams' hands. Dragashevich just taking his time, but too much time. Maybe he should have shot that. Avellino by 2, Volchevek by 4. According to the live scores, but things can change so quickly. Avellino by 1 now. Dragashevich allowed to dribble deep, and Hummer allowed to dribble deep, and Dragashevich with a smile on his face after he missed the shot. Let's hope he's okay. He's staying down for a while. Oh, and he's just sort of collapsed there. His legs went from under him. That'll be more team foul shooting by Ludwigsburg as they lose, or are losing by 26 at the moment. It's now a 1-point game with 22 seconds remaining in Le Mans. Le Mans down by 1, Avellino up by 3, but plenty of time remaining in that game. Nizhny Novgorod can only take care of their own business, which they've done emphatically here in Ludwigsburg, Germany. It's now a 2-point lead, 75-73 by Volchek. Anvil Volchevek. Just Hummer and Dragashevich and Komolov lead in the scoring for a rampant Nizhny Novgorod. Inside again, Dragashevich steps through, blocked by Knight. So Derek Knight with a nice block. And the shot's up, and it's good. And the crowd love that. Perry can just slow it down. He's got Herzog on him. It's great for Herzog to be close up and personal against a top player like Perry. He goes past him and finishes right at the hoop. Klaassen couldn't stop him, and that's what Perry can do when required, but he hasn't been required tonight. 6 points. His other stats have been in steals and assists. Komolov again for three is good. They have been excellent in all areas tonight, Nizhny Novgorod, and the ball moves quicker than the dribble, the pass moves quicker than the dribble, and they have shared the ball time and time and time again. Timeout, Ludwigsburg. Ludwigsburg take their time out. I'll just update you on the other games. Avellino by 1, now over Ventspils. Anwil Vorcevec by 3 over Le Mans with 23 seconds remaining there. So at the moment, Nizhny Novgorod will be finishing in 4th place. But we'll wait until the Le Mans game finishes.
Watch out, they're going for the double team.
Before we can say with more confidence where Nizhny Novgorod are going to finish and Le Mans are going to finish in this group. Avellino only leading by 1. If they lose and Le Mans lose and Novgorod win, Nizhny Novgorod will go into 3rd. .23 assists by Nizhny Novgorod tonight. A fantastic effort. Right, a well-drilled, well-coached and a very together team. Klaassen is grabbed by Komolov, who will be leaving the game now. He had 5 fouls last week as well against Ventspils. 5 points, 2 steals, 3 turnovers last week. Tonight is a much bigger offensive output. He's got 17 points. 3 assists in 24 minutes. And they got the mismatch they wanted. Komolov was just hanging on. The referee blew the whistle and got him out of the game, but a good job by the young Russian. Klaassen makes the free throw. Pressure continues by Ludwigsburg. They want to keep trying to the end. It's been a tough season as McRae knocks it loose from Perry. Perry pushes it up the floor. Klaassen comes to help, then returns to Popov. Georgi Javanov. He's up against Knight. Still Javanov gets fouled. That's good play from Georgi. Averaging 37.5% from the free throw line. Just 1.1 point a game. He doesn't go to the free throw line, in fact. And there's Hummer again, just waiting for his moment. And he's just got great footwork. Had a good college career and has been successful in his pro career as well so far. And he's a good fit, it seems, at Nizhny Novgorod. Knight. Pull-up J is good. And he was MVP of the Basketball Champions League the first week he came in when they beat Anwil Vorcevec. .39 bench points for Nizhny Novgorod. When you've got the likes of Hummer coming off the bench, and Komolov, that helps you. Javanov. Another turnover and steal. Klaassen ends up with it. Under 2 minutes remaining of Ludwigsburg's season in the Basketball Champions League this year. They're exiting a lot sooner than they wanted. And it's tied And they're going into overtime in Le Mans. 76 all. And Avellino are leading by 4 in the other game. So it's going to take a while before we know who goes through from this group in 3rd and in 4th, and who gets 5th, who misses out of the 3 teams. Nizhny Novgorod, Le Mans and Avellino. What a Basketball Champions League season, and what a block by young Gerasimov. And Popov gets blocked, but it falls into the hands of Ian Hummer. He's just worked and worked and worked. He's done the dirty stuff. He's done what his team's needed. And with just time ticking down below a minute, Hummer with another rebound. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Just a great all-round performance. Gerasimov will want to run something here. Just wants to be smart, give it to the right hands. Shots up from the corner is short. Offense, defensive rebound. McRae trying to get Keelan Martin running, and he can't get it to go, but he does get his own rebound. And that will potentially be the last score of the game, as Nizhny Novgorod will just run the clock down. 17 points for Keelan Martin. Nizhny Novgorod have won this game. They improved to 7-7. They beat MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg. But coach Zoran Lukic will have to wait to see if his team have qualified for the round of 16. But they win 85-59. Avellino currently leading by 2 with 1:40 remaining on the live score update. It's tied at 76 in Le Mans in the first period of overtime. What drama here in Group A. Nizhny Novgorod, I will have been told what the situation is. They've done everything they could. They finished off the regular season with 2 big wins after 3 losses on the spin. And it's been a tough season for John Patrick after the heights of the Final Four last year. But Ian Hummer, who's come across from Monaco, started the season in Monaco, of course, not in the Basketball Champions League this year, but made the final last year. And he's also played in Finland and for Ankara in Turkey and Ratafarm. He has maybe found a good fit, certainly for the rest of this season, with this Nizhny Novgorod team. There's Strebkov and Perry doing what he has to do. Kendrick Perry with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, and 6 of the 12 Nizhny Novgorod steals. But Ludwigsburg showing their appreciation to the crowd. They go down tonight, but they've gone down fighting and with pride. And there's all the statistics you need to know of the game. 24 assists by Nizhny Novgorod. Quite extraordinary statistic as we go through the others. They averaged 17.2 assists coming into this game and 33.7 rebounds. They got 35 rebounds tonight. Just going through all the leaders of the stats. Top scorers, Knight and Dragashevich, 20 and 24. Martin and Hummer, Klaassen and Komolov. Things are still not clear as Avellino lead by 1 with just under a minute remaining in Ventspils, Latvia. And now Le Mans edge by 1 point against Anwil Volchevik. What a game that is in France. And what a great end to the group in relation to these 3rd and 4th spots. We will find out shortly who's going to be going through as McRae and the team come through too, as well as Koski going through in his street clothes, and John Patrick saying thank you to all the fans there courtside. It's just great interaction between the teams. But on the floor, after a good start by Ludwigsburg, Nizhny Novgorod took control. And as Le Mans and Avellino now both lead by 3 points, if those two teams win, the win by Nizhny Novgorod will not be sufficient to get them through to the round of 16. They will go into the FIBA Europe Cup, where they will try and win silverware that way. 5th and 6th from the groups go into FIBA Europe Cup. 7th and 8th. Their European campaign is over, and that's where MHP RIESEN Ludwigsburg currently are. But it's been a great effort by Nizhny Novgorod. They will rue their 3 losses in a row. They lost to Ambit and Murcia earlier in, but the 3 losses in a row was against Le Mans and Bambit and UK Murcia. I mean, they're the 3 teams that will potentially finish ahead of them. It's been a very closely fought group over the 14 game days, but Nizhny Novgorod will still have to wait for their fate. Le Mans lead by 2 now, and Avellino by 3, with just 38 seconds remaining in their game. But they've just got a strong team. They're in a very competitive domestic league and have been in a very competitive Group A here, and they finish 7 and 7 at 500. 7 wins and 7 losses, and potentially it won't be enough to see them through to the round of 16. But they've done everything they can tonight to do that. With Eric Knight with a big offensive effort for Ludwigsburg. Keelan Martin with 17 points. Marcus Knight with 20. Owen Klaassen with 11. But just 9 assists for Ludwigsburg. A lot of their play is off the dribble, one-on-one, penetrating kick. But that is the end of the highlights, and it's still undecided as the Avellino and Le Mans play. So I will leave you here. It will all be decided once those games are finished. Hope you've enjoyed this game. Nizhny Novgorod have done everything they can. Will it be enough to put them through into the round of 16 of the Basketball Champions League? Or will they be in the FIBA Europe Cup for the remaining of the season? Hope you've enjoyed the action on livebasketball.tv. Do download the Basketball Champions League app. Plenty of basketball going on the rest of this evening and all through tomorrow evening. It's good night and enjoy the rest of your evening.